call the meeting
There we
order.
go. I want to make sure.
We'll do the pledge of the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Moving right along. We have a quorum. So, we're off to the races. Okay, public comment. Does anybody have any public comments that they would like to say or speak about? And if no comments, we will keep going. Okay? Okay, so we have to take a vote for the approval of the minutes. Everybody's got their minutes. So April's was, or excuse me, August was fixed.
Yeah, let's,
With adding that, Dan's, so we'll do that one first.
I motion to approve the August minutes.
I second the motion.
Okay. And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passed. Okay, so the September minutes,
Give me just a second, I just wanna,
that's
I
okay.
didn't finish. Can't remember, right? Okay, I make a motion that we approve the minutes for September.
Okay,
Second that.
Jimmy seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So it's okay. Not in attendance, just so I can write that for my notes for the minutes. All right, first thing up, I asked to speak about, the rental fees, having the baseball teams come here, and then just like when we rented for the, trunk or treat, or excuse me, the, egg hunt. I have talked to several municipalities around us, and residents do not get charged, even like up at the state park, if you're a resident of Pennsylvania. I feel that, I'm even like North Codorus, the ball teams aren't even, they take care of the fields, they do their stuff, and they're not charged anything. I would, I wanted to see what your input was, but my feeling is the taxpayers' money pays for everything in this park. I feel like it's their park. They should register if they wanna do an event at the office, just so that they know. We have liability insurance because it's a public park.
And you're talking about if they are residents of Heidelberg.
Right,
Yeah.
you have to be a
Yeah.
resident of Heidelberg Township. Now, the fees that are already in place, I feel that we should keep this is my opinion, I feel we should keep those fees established, and if they're not a resident of Heidelberg Township, then yes, you can rent it, and this is the fee. So,
You recall right offhand what it is, cause I'm not,
well, it was $80 in the spring when we did the field down there. Then the ball teams, they do, I think it's $160, I believe it is.
you mean for one event?
We paid $80. Oh,
Okay,
yes.
so you paid $80 for the upper lacrosse field,
Mhm.
but the charge for using a baseball field is $160?
I think, well, that's because they use it multiple times a week.
I think that's the annual.
Oh, the annual fee,
Yes.
oh,
They
okay,
pay-
that's what I
they pay
said.
an
is-
annual,
okay,
everybody else
okay.
is a one-time.
It's a schedule, or it's a season, right? Yes.
Okay, 160.
So, I feel like since there is a board and we're doing things for the community, and we're gonna be asking the community to volunteer, and possibly like the paper that Mike did about donations and sponsorships, I feel like we as a board should be cleaning this up a little bit for them, so.
I mean, the only thing I would wanna know is, you know, if there's a way to find out how much money we bring in each year based on that, just so we can account for it if we're no longer going to have that. You know, if it's $500, we guess that's how much we bring in from residents renting spaces, then at least we can account
Judy
for
to
it.
pop
So
her head in
what
here
you're
a
saying
second,
is, you'd like to see a line item
Well, I'm not,
on the,
I think it's a good idea either way, but I think for us
Right.
to
Oh, I
bring it to
agree,
the
yeah.
board of supervisors, we should be able to say that, you know, this is typically how much we
Well,
bring
Judy
in for a
was the only
resident.
one that would
Yeah.
know that, so we'll ask, you can ask.
So we're talking about, rental fees for space, you know, residents should not have to pay, they currently do, or do they not?
For the fields,
Okay, so for fields, but
We did for the, when we had the egg hunt.
not for the, or we're talking about for the, not for the pavilion.
not for the ball fields, but for everything else.
You
Pavilion,
don't pay for the pavilion, you
Okay.
pay to use the fields, and, so yes.
Okay.
Cause they use the lacrosse field
Right.
up there.
so I was suggesting that we have a rough estimate of how much per year that brings in so that we can say it's negligible.
Do you have,
Not counting the ball fields,
Not counting the
Yes.
ball fields,
very few,
There's,
okay,
very little.
so
is there like a,
Because the
less
ball
than
fields-
500, less than 200, I mean,
If we're not counting the ball fields.
Yeah.
maybe
Very
nothing?
little, because
Okay.
anybody who uses it typically just wants the pavilion.
Mhm.
And we don't
Okay,
charge for the
so-
pavilion,
Okay.
so we can make that change, and if it's a
Not
neg-
costing the
yeah,
township
it's not
money.
gonna
I mean,
affect our
the-
budget.
The problem would be, it's up to the board actually, but they would have to see if there's a cost to us. Like if there's trash pickup, if that kind of stuff, then
Okay.
that's
Mm.
that's what the fee is covering. Is anything we would have
Right.
along those lines.
So can that be put in when they would come to, section off reserve? Not really rent now, be a reserve and a spot to do, Girl Scouts wanna do something or whatever, that part of their contract would be they have to take their trash with, that's what Cadora State Park does now. They don't have trash cans and stuff anymore, it's, you have to take all your garbage with you. That's how they do it.
I mean, I
that's
think
fair
that-
anyway.
Yeah.
I think, and this was done way before my time, obviously we pay our people to mow it and keep it upright. It just goes right into
Mm.
that. So it's not, but no, very few people rent
Okay.
the park.
Okay.
Paul might have been one of the only ones that I can remember, cause if they use the pavilion, there's no fee if you're a resident.
Okay, good. Well, and if you get other swing set and other equipment, people might have like little family gatherings, and I know the Mennonite school, they used to come up and do picnics and stuff, but,
Well, they refuse to pay the fee, cause they wanted the whole field. We just had this out with them over the summer. They wanted the entire park, but they didn't wanna pay the fee. So they did not use it this year.
well, that was a question my husband and I were talking about, if it's a public park, cause even like over at Cadora's
But if
Park,
they
they
want it-
can't, you can't stop people from coming if they come, cause it's a public park, right?
Yeah, but they wanted the fields because they play ball and kickball and all of that, and we already have people using the fields who
Right.
were willing to give them up, but they didn't wanna pay the fee.
Okay,
And then they were gonna find somebody who lives here, and then they just never did, so, but they never used it.
Okay, but when they wanted to use, I'm asking, cause I don't know, I'm making an assumption here. When they wanted to use the field, it was during the day, during school hours.
It was all day, I wanna say it was like 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 or something
Okay.
like that. They
And what time
bring
do-
in, and that was the problem also, is they've never had to show proof of liability, and they had to this time, and they said they didn't want to, cause it's all homeschool kids, and,
mm,
but they don't live here, they were coming from all over, it's a
Yeah.
conference of some sort.
Okay,
so that's
so it wasn't the
different.
school
Yeah.
down here
I
necessarily?
don't know if they're the ones that organize it, but it wasn't just these kids, they come from, she said they'd be coming from all over.
Right, yeah, okay, I got it.
That's what they told Katie, so.
If we're going to say residents do not have to pay a fee, what are our rules for whether you're a resident or not? I mean, that's
They'd have
simple,
to
the
come
person
in
who
and-
is actually,
I mean, for the pavilion, they come in and fill out the form and they have to show us their license.
but if it's one person and everybody else coming is not
Well,
the
they're
resident.
ones liable,
Okay,
because
so
in
if
order
they're-
to rent
if
the whole
it's- if
thing, you're
that's
gonna
the-
have to show liability insurance, just like Paul did, he had to have some kind of insurance. Cause they're gonna come after us if somebody falls and breaks a leg.
Now, is there, since the township already has a liability insurance, can they just buy a resident get a rider?
On our policy?
Yes,
Probably not,
okay,
cause that still makes us, if something happens, then our rates are gonna go up. I
And-
mean, could they for something we were throwing, or you guys threw an event? Sure, cause you're doing it for the park. I don't know the answer, that's a board question,
okay.
but if I had to guess, They didn't let Paul do that, right? He had to get his own.
He did, I know what happened was it was like $450, but then we found another insurance company because the township had liability insurance already, then, which means you keep your property code. We could have got one for $150,
Okay.
but the insurance person didn't look into it enough. We found out that after the fact. So $150 liability insurance, if somebody wants to have an event, is not bad to do. $450 was steep, and that could be what they didn't know either, but because you already have a liability insurance, it shows that the property is maintained.
Yes.
Different than it would be somewhere else that they,
Just a field somewhere.
right,
Yeah,
right, that the
that
township,
makes sense.
yeah, that's what they said after
And
the
again,
fact.
I'm only answering what I think. That would be a board question. They would make that decision, but.
And they should have some kind of liability insurance because the township isn't there to monitor what's going on. So I don't feel that that is unreasonable.
Correct.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, I don't think that our insurance and or lawyer would say we could have it go out without some kind of insurance.
Right, oh, yeah.
That we
I-
wouldn't be liable, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, I think even to tell them that they have to have some, like,
So,
Anytime that they're on the field,
Like the baseball teams, they have to have,
no, like, I've seen them out here playing on the field.
I mean, if just a family shows up,
Okay,
And
that's
they're
okay, that's okay then, okay.
yes.
The difference is if it's organized, right? And that would be a lawyer thing to determine
Yeah.
if
If
it
they
I was
was
just
are
curious,
organized.
because I know
reserving
not too
it.
long ago they
If
were
they're
out here.
reserving it and they're letting us know it's reserved,
Yeah,
not the pavilion, but an event or a
Yeah.
park.
well, it was a weekday, so, cause I think I was.
No,
Yeah.
we see people out there,
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
nobody's chasing them down.
Alright.
Okay,
okay, got it. Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts on that?
I'm okay with, to me, it makes sense if you're a resident and you wanna reserve something that you don't pay. Now, somebody had mentioned in an earlier meeting something about if there's an event that's publicly promoted, or I can't remember the verbiage that they use, but if it's something that's been published or put out there publicly for the public to use, then it needs to have insurance. But if it's not, then it's, for an example, this was years ago, my church, the church that I used to go to, we had a pickup softball game, just not just guys, people from the church. We came down here and used the field. There was nobody around. We just brought softball equipment. We used the field. No big deal. And then another time, and this was years ago, we had I'll say a family reunion for lack of a better term, but I had relatives from Michigan, New York, Indiana, and Pennsylvania up here, just not all my relatives, but a bunch of them, just eating at the,
Picnic.
picnic at the
picnic.
pavilion.
Yeah.
Wasn't public, it wasn't a big organized event, but, I mean, we play games and stuff, but,
Yeah.
there shouldn't be a fee if there's gonna be, if it's not a publicly announced event.
Right.
I don't think,
I mean, one of the stipulations, like what Judy was kind of explaining, what happened when we did that up there for the because that was for the community, for Heidelberg Township. So when we had to pay the $80, that's why I called around to other townships to see what they do. Now, they said there would be no charge if you're hosting a community event, other than like what she said about the insurance. You'd have to carry another rider, which I 100% get that. You got kids running around and stuff like that. So it seems to me that something needs to be said, like what she said about the fields. So that was a lacrosse field and they weren't, nothing was scheduled or anything. Now the baseball fields, they are paying. So if you need to reserve the baseball fields, when we already got the teams there, even if it is during the day, you should have to pay or do some kind of compensation if it's gonna cut into their field time.
Well, it can't though.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah, you can't.
It's already scheduled, so it can't.
So what
They have priority for whatever the contract
Right.
says they're gonna use
so if no
it.
one's using the field, why should the resident have to pay if no one's using the field?
Well, I think that's what we're deciding now, is
Yeah,
that they shouldn't.
That's what I'm saying, if
Yeah, that's how I feel. If
if
no one's using it, no, there should be
somebody's
no fee.
paid for the scheduled time,
Right,
and that the fields are reserved already.
Mhm.
But if they're just coming into, once in a while you go by and see a dad pitching to his son,
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or something like
So
that.
I think there's unscheduled time, which we really don't need to, like, it's only an issue if they come to reserve the time, right? That's when it becomes an issue of,
Baseball fields or ball fields?
Or
well, I
any-
mean, baseball or anything, it becomes an issue of liability if they have reserved the time, right?
I mean, I guess in theory, if anybody goes down there and breaks their neck, they're gonna come to the township and sue them,
Mhm.
yes. But
Well, they
if
can
we
do that,
know they're there and it's reserved, then they're supposed to have liability.
Okay.
If they're
Yeah.
using more than the pavilion. The pavilion does not require, like, if you're having your kid's birthday party or a family picnic, that's not a liability. That's our park liability,
Right.
I would imagine, yes.
well, that's what we're trying to figure out, like the lacrosse field, no one was scheduled to be on there when Paul wanted to use it. So if somebody wants to use the field, the lacrosse field, instead of paying the $80 if they're a resident, what's the difference if you would've had it up on the hill? It was the same thing, so that's what I
I
was.
don't know when the fees were established or why.
No, I'm
Yeah,
saying
I-
that's why I wanted to bring this up for
Yeah.
us to look at this, since we have a board now.
Yeah.
Could we make this a little better for the
I mean,
residents?
I'm being honest, not that many people rent.
Yeah,
It's,
so this,
and it's not like they're calling, hearing we charge a fee and they're saying, no, never mind.
Right,
We don't get calls.
yeah,
It's
I
very,
mean, I
very
think the
rare.
fee can also maybe be kinda like a deductible where, you're not gonna have somebody reserving the same field and same spot over and over and over because they're a resident. And, that might limit other people from using it.
oh, I see
So
what you're saying.
if it's a minor fee, maybe we
Yeah.
say half the amount
And it
for
can also
residents.
be, you
and
get half of it back if we don't have to go up and they
Yeah.
left it a mess up there. I
Yeah.
mean,
Deposit,
there's
Right.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not a bad.
Yeah.
because
a refund.
50% refund,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, what I'm
you're right,
thinking down,
that would become an issue, somebody
Yeah.
just saying we want it all the time. and-
yes. Well, some places do, you can only rent it so many times a year. That cuts back on that kind of situation. But also, the more that we do start doing events in 2026, there's some people, and as we get swings and different things up there, more people may have a desire then. So I just thought,
Yeah,
we haven't
thinking
accomplished
ahead.
anything really in
And I
twenty
know you guys
twenty-six.
still have to go over the surveys, which we've cut off now, and so we'll have all that for your next meeting, I guess, if, but that wasn't what people want. I mean, again, most people are saying, put in swing sets, put in
Yeah.
slides,
Yeah, they want equipment.
stop
Yeah.
spending money is what we're getting.
Right, well,
They
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
want-
Yeah, I'm
So-
saying, once you start having
Yeah.
the swing sets and more people
But
come,
like even
then-
stages, shows, they're like, no, cause
Yeah,
again,
well, I
the
don't-
majority of our audience is 65 over.
right, right. But a lot of them do like to take their
There's one man who
grandkids.
rents it every year, reserves it for a family reunion, and then Paul, and that's it, an occasional birthday party,
Right,
that's all we get.
So we know that the money that it brings in is very, very small. I mean, how many people actually reserve space
Again,
per
not counting.
month?
Most months.
On
nobody.
average, one
Okay,
and a
so-
half.
So I mean, we-
Zero.
I have
it might be
zero.
something that becomes an issue, but I don't think we can really make a decision yet.
I would say
or
you have bigger fish
propose
to
a
fry than
decision.
worrying about
Yeah,
that, if
um,
it becomes an issue.
Yeah,
I mean, again, I like the idea of giving them some of their money back if we don't have to.
I like
Yeah.
that too.
But
yeah,
when it becomes an issue, for sure, it just hasn't been the 2.5 years I've been here, I don't. can probably
well,
count
there's
on one
nothing
hand.
up there for them to really have an event with, and that's, I mean, you know what I
You're
mean,
right.
there's not.
You're right.
Yeah,
And that's
I
why-
get, are people having events at other parks beyond once a year? Or, I don't mean associations, I mean a random person saying, I'd like to have an event somewhere.
Oh, Cadorus, they have tons of them, you know what I
I
mean?
mean, they've got
That's-
a lot of,
But that's a,
And
right,
that's a big story.
And like Jackson, I know in Jackson Township, a lot of people do, but they have a really nice playground over there and stuff like that. So, and they have better pavilion things, but there's no charge to them. And she said the township already has liability insurance, so they don't even have to do insurance over there. A rider, because they
I
just,
don't know why we do, again,
Yeah.
that was all booked prior to me,
Right.
it's just always been that way. But
yeah. Well, we're a
Certainly worth
smaller, we're a
questioning.
small township,
It's cheaper,
so if you
so
get
it
sued,
makes-
it can hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Sure.
But I was just trying to think ahead, speaking with other townships, and like when we did that for the egg hunt down there, and we had to raise that money of the $80 when it was for the community. So, and it was residents that were all running, it was all, the people were residents. So that's why I felt like it's something for us to discuss and maybe change for to get it to the board, that they can think about it and make a motion that we can look at
All right.
this.
Yeah, I got it, plan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your help.
I'm willing, if you wanna make a subcommittee, I'm willing to do it. I'd like to look at the paperwork that we have for rental agreements for the baseball, for the public, or whatever it is. I'd like to look those over, cause I don't know that I've ever seen them, maybe I have. And then,
We got them last year,
well,
when Katie did the fall, you
Okay.
did, but that was last year,
well,
when you first came on.
I'd like to look them over and maybe make some recommendations for changes. It's, like she said, it's not a high priority, we got bigger fish to fry, but I'd like to look them over, and if we made a subcommittee with a couple other people, and they don't have to be board members, that have an interest in looking at that, I'd be willing to
Because we have
chair that
this,
subcommittee.
the snack shack there, I mean, there's things there that people in the community could be utilizing. The thing is just sitting there, so that's why I felt like we should.
Well-
I think most people don't even know that you can, in our township, you come down and, reserve a space,
Well, we don't-
reserve the area,
We
so.
only, Oakside Park, now it's a much bigger thing, but you can rent, you could have 5 different organizations renting, we want this pavilion, and like there's places all throughout the park, along with different kinds of ball fields, but there might be one family or one group that has this pavilion, and there's a small playground near it. There might be bathrooms over near there, and then over here, and then back in the woods, they have some, again, a much bigger park, but they also have more shelters, and really, if you need a pavilion or a shelter if you're gonna reserve something, cause what if
We
it
have
rains?
2 now, so you have the one up on the top that the Boy Scout put in, and then you have the pavilion down here. So
Okay.
we do need to get more picnic tables and stuff, and that's something else we'll talk about when we get to the money part, so maybe we make a motion that, Dan and, do you know, you wanna head up a committee? Well, all you have to do is make the motion according to the bylaws that you would head up, and you can get what other people you want in your subcommittee.
Right.
Have Dan look at all the contracts.
I don't wanna grab somebody if they're not interested, but
Well, no, you can get some feelers
Yeah, I
out and
mean, we
see
can
if,
talk about it at next month's when
Right, okay.
they're, unless if you guys are interested in being on the subcommittee, if not, we can bring
yeah,
it
if
up
you know
next
anybody
time.
that would have an interest, cause I wouldn't mind just sitting down with them, invite them over to my house for a dinner and sit down and look at the contracts and.
I'm not interested.
Oh, no, that's fine, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to.
Sorry.
Yeah, recruit you, but,
I could be, but tonight I'm not.
yeah, it's not that big a deal. Okay, well, we can just table that for now. We'll just, let me ask around. Bring that next time.
okay, so we're gonna table this motion to next meeting, is that what you're saying?
About making the subcommittee to review the
Right,
rental
and-
contracts.
and about the, we did the discussion of the rental fees, so we'll do that for next time, so. Table.
Can you, put forth, I hate to use that word, but like a proposal that would include all of the parts of this discussion that we've had here. And that way it would be ready to
Well, I think what I'm gonna
go.
do is ask Judy to email out copies of all what she has to all the board members. And then everybody would have a month, the
Kinda.
board members, to kind of put them together and stuff, to look at them
Look at all the rental agreements.
and how it's, because
And-
Judy said she didn't do them, they were in place before she
Right.
came. So we can look at them, and then I think what we need to do is kind of have some copies next time for the people in the audience, so that they can get their head wrapped around, what do these look like that we're doing now?
Right.
And how can we make them better for the community?
And,
I hope
and-
it gets better.
and, well, the,
Well, it's been a year, so.
it would be, okay, that
Sorry.
was unnecessary.
Here's the hamster, woo.
There you are, Victoria.
Yeah.
Would it?
I
would
get
it-
what you're
It would
saying.
be helpful to also like
Kinda
have
move it
a
along.
structure to understand the
Yeah.
insurance part of it.
Great,
You know, like, maybe even if somebody could come and talk about that. You know,
That is
somebody
not a
could
bad
talk
idea.
about
Okay.
that to the
okay,
board.
so I'll ask Judy if she can send us all a copy of the rental agreements,
An advisor on
and then
insurance
an
or-
advisor on the insurance.
But clearly whoever is insuring the park now, or insuring the township now, doesn't seem to be, thinking the way the insurance person that we spoke to about the rider,
Right.
that you
was.
spoke to,
Yeah,
was. So would that person be willing to, I don't know.
well, and they're gonna have to see their policy to see what they're even.
Right.
to-
Is there a
to-
way to,
I'll ask Judy
okay,
about the insurance, if we can get a copy of it, that we can
Right.
show these other people to say.
Right.
What kind of, okay,
that's what I was thinking.
and get a copy of the policy, right, that we can all, and then we'll have some of our insurance people look at them.
That way, when you write up a contract for anyone coming to the park to reserve for an event, or even just a family event, right, there would be different structures
Right,
inside of that contract for, you know, so they're not all one size fits
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Because they really don't, right?
no, so we'll look into that, and, because I agree with Danny, said it like tons of times, we need to wear out the park, it's not being used because it hasn't been directed in the right way, so that's why I'm trying to get this looked at, so we'll, table this to next meeting, discuss about a subcommittee, we'll get copies of all the rentals and a copy of the policy for everybody to look over in the next month, so you can kinda like, cause I do know a couple insurance agent people and ask them to kinda give their recommendations for the township. for the
Right, I
residents.
mean, perhaps, some competition would be useful.
Right, okay. Anything else on that issue?
No.
Okay,
Not from me.
next item. Okay, discuss what to do with the money amount of our budget for 2025 that remains. So, did you see the email that Katie sent out? There was $4,000 is what we were allotted
Oh, I
this year.
didn't see that.
Yeah, Katie sent an email
Oh,
out.
okay, you're right.
And
'cause I
then,
was looking.
we spent $1,771.55. So we have a remaining balance of $2,228.45. So from what I'm understanding, whatever we do not spend by December 31st, we lose.
Mhm.
So that's been established over the last two meetings.
What is
which
considered spent?
Well,
Is
that,
that, because there's different rules for what's considered spent. Does it mean that
let's ask
you have
her.
to have an order placed, or does
That's,
the order have to be
well,
completed?
that is one of my questions.
Yeah.
Let me ask her so that we can compare apples with apples.
Because that, we might be able to wait until we have survey results. There might be something from the surveys that we could just decide on next
Well,
month.
yeah,
'cause-
you're right.
Well,
I'm
here's the
all
problem
about
we're gonna
jumping
have.
on-
We only have
Right,
2 times and then we're done.
right.
So,
What are the rules for spending the money? Like, I know it's allocated to the year. Does it have to be like spent and out of the account by the end of the year, or does it have to be obligated?
I mean, you can certainly ask for it to be carried over to next
Okay,
year.
so
I
if we
mean,
had a
I can't
plan
make
to
that
say,
decision.
you know,
There's no,
5 picnic tables that are $2,200.
right,
you
I
know,
mean,
this is what-
and anything you spend has to be approved by
Yeah.
them, so.
Right.
Okay,
If
so,
you had something you wanted to spend it on that they would approve, it could certainly come out of this year. If you don't think you're gonna have something, if you wanna maybe carry it to next year, if you think you need more for events, they did not approve the 8,000.
they didn't, and what, I've been in discussion with some playground equipment people. So the playground boss is a company. They are running a ton of specials because it's getting to the end of their year. So I got the swing set stuff. We can get a 4-person swing set, which is age level from 2 to 12 now this is before we wheel and deal. This is just a front figure of $1,661. They're offering free shipping, and this was so now he said, which I got different sizes. I mean, we got,
But that's
Okay,
playground quality, or is that like a backyard quality?
no, this is all commercial playground,
can they
equipment.
be
and it's all,
for adults too?
PST.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I
but what
joke,
about the
but-
senior citizen?
Yes, well, it is, but they classify it as
Because they don't-
midline. So like, what happened with the playground
They-
equipment?
hold on.
I'm just confused, only because I know somebody had somebody come out and they said we're gonna have to excavate or move
Yeah.
equipment to put in a swing set.
Well,
So then
Not necessarily.
that has to come out of that as well.
well, unless we have companies, there's already businesses in our township who have offered to volunteer to do to move what equipment's there and installation and things, to install.
Okay, let me ask this question. Let's say we have 2,000 that we can spend in the budget.
Mhm.
And it
You have
costs,
this.
it costs 1,600 for the playground equipment. We can get a deal on it, we get the equipment, we can store it here till we decide whether we got a volunteer that will come and, you know, a local excavating or landscaping
I would
company.
think that would be fine, obviously
Yeah.
it's the board's decision,
Right.
but you would need a better plan than, we're gonna store it here.
Oh, I know,
They
but
would
I'm
wanna
just,
know-
Right.
I'm asking
Yes.
in the sense of using the money in the budget, if we used it now, even though we didn't have it implemented. Installed.
Like in phases, that's what I was thinking you would do in phases.
But we
You
could purchase that, or
Imagine-
purchase picnic tables,
It's-
or,
Again, I can't
Okay.
say for sure, but I don't know why.
Yeah, we need a
yeah,
plan.
alright,
They
okay.
would want to have a signed contract that
Right.
that person was gonna do it for free, or,
Oh, absolutely.
Not
And see their
just-
liability insurance and all that stuff.
Right.
Exactly. That's
Okay.
exactly right.
and again, I don't know if that goes back to having a plan up there with, or are we just sticking a piece of equipment up there, or do we need a plan for where
Well,
everything's gonna go?
This company, theirs is ASTM compliant and IPEMA certified. So it's all the legal state certifications that you need for playground equipment.
But
So I did make sure of that, cause
right,
there's
well,
a lot
that's
of.
good, but she
hooky-
Location
made
is
a
what
good
she
point,
asked.
we
Well,
we have to,
He said that, they have a locations, what they call safety zone, according to the state's recommendation. So, each, depending on the size of it, so, like this one here is, 36 feet by 33 feet.
Mhm.
So, which they call their safety zone.
Does it have a handicap swing as well? Cause I think that's something that we're supposed to have.
Well, our
Probably
playground's
add-
not handicap.
Just a different seat.
I only, cause I
So,
thought
I
that was
do
one
have
of the things
pictures.
they told us, if we
Well,
put
let's-
something up, it has
let's
to
not-
have it,
we
yeah.
don't need
Yeah.
to go into that yet,
Yeah.
right now.
Well, just so that you knew what, see, this is what they're saying. You do 2 older to younger, midline. So that way, a mother with multiple children can all play on the same playground. The problem we have now is our playground is a toddler playground and not a midline playground.
I got you.
So whenever you put anything in, you do midline, and so the handicap ones would be probably closer to the toddler ones because they have the bucket things that go the whole way around them and they don't have to hold themselves up. Like the other swings,
There's two
Or-
swings that are seats that you
that
set them in.
that with their
and
legs
two that are
is-
just,
yes, the flat bucket. So that's,
But I
so-
think the handicap ones, like kids in wheelchairs can use, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know if I've.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
big, heavy,
and that's,
Right. like
It's like
you
an
can wheel
open
right
seat.
onto it.
so you're saying that anything we do up there, 100%,
I just know that we were told to make it, to start the process of handicapped accessible, that's one of the things to consider.
right.
Doesn't mean we have to, I don't know, but,
Well, they do have some singles, and maybe that's what they are.
and then
The
again,
singles
I'm
and
just
then-
saying, let's look at where we're gonna put stuff and
Right.
not just drop it.
Yeah, we
And
need to.
5 years from now, we realize we really need to move that too. I
We
don't know.
need to make.
Well, that's exactly what happened up there already. It,
Well,
it's,
that's, we need to
That-
avoid that.
right.
Right.
And,
So
when we
can
did
we
look at,
get all of that? I think those are great ideas, but you would have to have that streamlined to make that presentation. I would like to see them approve it, but you would probably wanna have all those questions answered as best we can.
What size was the swings that were there?
That was before me.
there was 6, wasn't there 6 swings on that?
There was swings,
4,
but I
6. I
can't
think it was
remember
6
what they
swings
even
on
look
there.
like.
They've been. not
So
there since
6
I've-
swings, you're looking at according to this company, to that sales rep, like a 6 swings, he's saying you'd need 47 feet long by 33 feet wide. A 6 swing is $2,374 for a 6 swing.
Well, and then
And
is
then
that
you need
based on
Clearance. of-
flat ground?
Right.
Right.
Well, and that was
Yeah.
over there
Yeah.
where that is now, where this is here is where it was.
So the swings are gone, they're
Yes.
just gone.
Well, Paul said that they were out in the one, but he said they're not usable.
I don't know that.
How
It's
can that,
possible
I mean,
I'm
but
sure.
the frame is what costs the most money, right?
Right.
It's not the chain and the little,
Seat,
the
right.
seat, right?
No,
So
I mean, I guess it's something
why,
we could ask the
why
maintenance
would
guys,
they
do
have
they know
gotten
where it
rid of
is?
that?
I don't know that they did. You're saying Paul says they're here?
That's what he said, that
In
they
the
were,
garage or the shed?
I'm not sure.
I mean, if they're in the garage, they should be.
We
in
might
great
be able to
shape.
afford the handicapped.
The
Right.
swings,
A
the swing, yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a question.
If the frame was here, that would be great.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Was it metal?
Yes, yes, it was metal. The metal
Yeah,
whole things.
poles.
It wasn't rounded like they're doing the new ones, it was the straight. Now, this is for people, he said for playground equipment where you're limited in space, they do these now. They don't do them with the big triangle
Oh.
legs that come out, this is what they do because a lot of places
Is
don't
it
have,
just-
Straight down.
it's just straight.
Yeah,
That's what this is what
how
the
do those things
the
stand?
salesman said that they had to be cemented in
Right.
so deep to meet
Right, they
regulation
go into
and
the
all
ground
that,
20
he
feet.
said.
So do you have to get an official surveyor up there
I
to,
would think so,
you
if
know,
they're gonna,
so there goes your money,
Well, not unless,
they may be able to do it.
Yeah.
you know, and
It
that's.
still would have to be inspected and.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
No matter
Oh,
who you
yes.
bring in, is
Yeah.
that we're gonna have to have it inspected, for sure.
and we
So-
do have some people in our township who do that for a living that may, to dampen the costs of all that. But even if it's spending the money to buy the equipment, some of the equipment, so that phase 1, we don't lose that money if they won't carry it over. Phase 1 can be getting the equipment, phase 2 can be paying for, raising money and paying for, through our 501c3s or whatever, to pay for the,
Installation.
installation of everything and being to code. So, and a lot of plans are in increments, like in stages. This is stage 1. We just, to me, I think it's a crime to go this whole year and have $2,228 that we don't spend a dime on and nothing's been changed. That to me is a crime.
So what?
I'm embarrassed if that happens.
Vicky, do the commercial sellers, do they give you an idea of what you, like the space that you need?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they
What-
tell you.
Yeah.
Can you
It tells you
like
it's called a
send
safety
them a
zone.
picture of your, you know, like of your spot, and will they?
They should.
Are they local?
Yes, they'll come out.
They'll come
I'm not
out.
sure
So
if they have a sales rep local, which a lot of them do. It's a big company, and then they have people that do what they call territories, and they'll come out.
And that's
So
And it's
my-
fantastic.
the dilemma we ran into, cause somebody wanted to do a swing set up there, and the space, we had to move the existing equipment and level out, it was a process, so I think that's why it stalled on that
Right.
end.
that makes
So
sense.
I think the first thing, if we're thinking seriously about swings, I think we need to have them come out and give us, just tell us, you know, do a survey, tell us, yes, we can do it, where they can do it, what it would cost with the handicapped accessibility. And then if it can't just be a drop it in the ground kind of thing, what would it also cost for them to do the earth moving portion of it? And if there's two separate things, there's the equipment and the earth moving, then we
The earth
have
moving, we
your
have-
phases. You have your buy the equipment now, or you pay for the earth moving now, and next year's money, we can do the other part of it. But I think a phased plan is not gonna be real popular with the Board of Supervisors unless we have feedback, which we'll have next month from the surveys. If there's a lot of stuff in there about swings, then we can say, here's what we've done so far, and we know people want swings.
Or we could just buy one swing.
But,
Pay it from the trade.
Well, the ground moving, we already have two companies in the
right,
township
but what
that
I'm,
do
what
it
I'm
for a
saying
living
is,
that have
but
said
that's,
they will do it for free.
right,
They said
but
we
for us to
will.
propose, we need to say, this is what it would cost if it's not for free. So if they can give us a quote on that too, then we can say, you know,
And put
phase
into
one is
writing.
buy the equipment, it's $2,000. Phase two is $2,000 or whatever it is to move, you know, to level the ground or whatever. That's the next phase, which we will seek volunteer for, but we know it'll at least cost this.
And maybe have them put in writing that they are willing to do it.
Yeah.
Right, well, absolutely. Well, York City just put in a playground down there. So they raised the money and it was all volunteers that installed the whole thing. They didn't get, because it is expensive to have those companies come out and do it. So that's why a lot of townships and communities do their own.
I
But
mean, if we can have somebody come out and say, yeah, I'll do it for free and put it in writing, but it
well,
would
Mark
have to
Sullivan
be,
will put it in writing, cause he and Mr. Bumgarner are both chomping at the bit.
but we would need to
try to
know
help.
also where and
Right.
how much
Yeah.
the equipment's gonna cost.
I remember you said about taking, I think it was you that said about taking a field trip for the board to go up and look at.
Yeah, you guys
There's-
talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, and then it never facilitated. And that's something where I think is important that we need to go to.
Because remember, you guys got stuck on the fact you can go up there, but you can't talk about anything that makes a decision. Because
Well-
the decisions have to be talked about in a
Right.
public forum.
If it's
Well-
a committee,
Dun,
You
dun.
Oh, a
still-
subcommittee, you don't add more
You
than
could
two board members.
convert-
Only 2 of you could be on the subcommittee.
Yeah.
You
Right.
couldn't have 3 of you.
So you can
But
go up there, but you can have
subcommittee could
people
go
that
up
are
and
not
fact
on the
find.
board of the
Yes.
subcommittee.
You can
And
take
bring back the
walkie-talkies.
information.
You could be in two separate groups.
Yes.
Walkie-talkie.
And I mean, that, I think you could do it. You just have to make sure you're not standing up there saying, yeah, I think it'll go right here, because then it's a violation.
Okay.
You have to talk about any decisions in a public forum for the audience.
That's why you have a subcommittee doing it.
Well,
I'll just go on up there.
Right.
We'll be there with you.
now, if
Hell, I got a flashlight, let's go there now.
if we advertise that the meeting will
But only 2
start.
of them can go. They can't all 3 go, because it's a quorum.
If you advertise it, that the meeting will begin at the park, at the playground, and then
Yeah,
conclude
but
to
then that's
here,
gonna come out of your budget, because we're gonna have to pay to advertise it. Just
well,
keep that in mind.
$15,
It's
right?
not 15, right? It's 30 to 50, I don't know. Yes. And do
Well-
you have time in this?
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
I
getting
mean,
dark out now.
it is getting dark.
That is true, but I think it's to start at 5:30.
And again, you couldn't all 3 or 5 go, it could only be 2 of you,
Okay,
cause then it's,
Right.
you're conducting business, yes.
Okay.
so we could meet with the playground equipment gentleman and the excavator people up there, get all the information and then bring it back to the board at the next meeting and then
We'll
they
bring
can
it to
discuss this.
your meeting,
That's what I mean, our
Yeah,
board,
yes,
excuse me, the
yes.
rec park board, sorry.
yes.
And
Okay.
then go over, so that's what we need to do, we need to have a subcommittee for that to get all the information, so next week we can come back.
I would suggest that you chair this since you've already had this.
Okay.
Let's make a subcommittee
Alright,
and you can have
Suffer.
one of these
Right.
excavator
do.
company people
Yep,
be
I
on
can
your,
ask.
on your committee.
I
Vote
motion
on them.
that Vicky lead a subcommittee to look into whether
I think we have to
would be-
call it a Teams, I don't think we
Team?
can
Okay.
call it a subcommittee.
Why?
I don't know, there's something in your bylaws about
because
committees and
what
subcommittees.
did John Johnson Ball call
No,
it, wasn't it, it was
it's a
subcommittee.
It was
Yeah,
subcommittee?
Yeah.
it's in the
Okay,
bylaws.
I thought there was a
So-
word we couldn't use.
I'll look it up in the
Whatever, that's
bylaws.
fine.
You might be
Just
right, I
say
can't think
I'll
of
try
A
it.
again.
group of 2 people,
Well, no, it
Yeah.
can be
It's
no more than 2 board members, it can be,
that's
many
what I'm
people
talking
as
about,
well.
yeah,
Right.
anybody else.
And
can show up.
100 people
So you
from
don't
the
need a permit
community.
then? You don't need a permit, or two.
To go up and
2
look
board
at-
No,
members.
no, to put this swing set in, will they need a permit?
Okay,
You're
so-
all good with that, or?
I mean, I'm not approving it.
Go
You're
for
not
it.
approving
We
it.
made a
No,
motion.
go for it.
to,
we're not putting in
develop-
cement.
okay,
Right.
say
I'll do it
It's all
again,
order.
okay, so I
Right.
make a motion
Yeah.
that Vicky leads
I
a
just don't know if there's enough
group
room out there.
I
of
don't
A
no
subcommittee.
more than group or subcommittee,
That's what
whichever
we
the
call it.
appropriate
Just-
terminology
I'll look
is,
it up.
Because it extends the hills.
of no more than
And you have to have so
2
much
board members
information.
to
Right, you want kids jumping.
identify
to be able to
potential
learn,
location
clean the
and cost to
equipment and
install
swing
And I don't know that there's enough room.
swing set,
swing
And
sets.
again,
very good.
they just
I'll
set that
second
up
that.
there, and I think,
And you can,
Right,
all in favor? Aye.
and you couldn't put it up on top of the hill
now,
or the
as
other.
the chairperson of the subcommittee,
I mean, that, these
you
guys.
bring that
Then you're
information
getting-
to
Area
this
there
board.
has something.
But I would suggest you see if you can,
Well, that's a
these
problem.
people, these guys that you're mentioning,
I'm gonna have them,
see if they'll
Come to the
come and help
meeting.
advise
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
on site.
Yep. I'm
And,
gonna do that.
and bring it to us and then we
Mhm.
can,
and
Yep.
if they'd be willing to come to your next meeting.
that's what I'm gonna do, ask them
And
if they can
see
please
if they
come.
can explain where it could go and work.
Yep.
Or what
Yeah.
needs to be done to make it work.
Right,
okay.
okay, so, cause I'm gonna have
So
this
then
engineer,
you would potentially be able to bring it to the December board
Right.
meeting.
which would still get us to the point where we could get approval before the end of the year if they won't carry it over.
Well, if they are here and we have numbers, could we not add it as an agenda item and vote on it next month?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
But
put
but
it in.
the
oh, you're
board
saying
meeting
the
will
board
already
meeting,
It is,
yeah,
that's
so it'd have
what
to be
she's
November for December, got it,
Right,
got it.
that's what Judy's
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
sorry.
I was thinking our meeting,
Now,
sorry.
here's another
No, I
thought.
think you could talk about it at your
Yeah.
November meeting.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then I think we need a plan B, for whatever, you know, if this doesn't pan out or if we can't get good quotes, you know, we have the option of looking at survey results.
One
One thing I just asked, Google AI, suggested, signage. So I know we have a sign out there.
For
What
the
kind of
park?
condition is it in?
You mean the park?
Yes,
Oh, it's brand
brand
new.
new.
okay, okay.
They just
So that's-
dedicated
They
that
just-
last
Okay,
summer.
so
Last sum-
skip
yeah,
that idea.
And that was an expense.
It was
so it's-
donated.
Oh, okay, I meant, but it did cost,
It was,
I mean,
it's
it
a
was
very nice
donated,
sign.
yes, it's a very,
nice
that's what I
sign.
meant, it's a very nice sign.
Okay,
It
so
wasn't
that's
just some cheapy thing.
not needed there.
No.
I mean, we had picnic tables as an idea. We'll
Mhm.
probably have some ideas from the surveys.
Yeah.
But to be able to have an idea plus cost,
And-
that would be the tricky part.
Right. And what we should probably do, I mean, picnic tables for the park, because you have that upper pavilion, like the canopy thing and stuff like that.
Up on the hill.
Yeah, up on the hill and stuff.
And that was some of the responses, people wanted more seating.
Yes.
Benches,
Uh-huh.
I mean,
But there
Well,
again,
yeah.
benches is something that needs to be secured and cemented in and
well,
all
yeah, I
that
mean,
too, for
you could
security.
probably, for $2,000, you could probably get 4 benches, I would think at the most even.
Well, you could
but-
also potentially make that a fundraiser. People might be
Right.
willing
Mm.
to
True,
have their name on
like we
them.
did, yeah, the pickets and all that stuff, and the benches that were there in the playground, that used to be along the picket fences. That's that.
But didn't they vote that away from the board and to the 501c3? Didn't you vote that?
No,
That's-
that
All
whole
naming rights didn't
fiasco was,
Signage, that wasn't,
No,
signage?
like if they put signs on the field, like.
Ah,
banners.
oh, yeah, that was a
banners.
different
It had-
issue, yeah.
no,
That was
There
going
was
to
nothing about
corporate-
benches.
Corporations and
The
trying
rec
to
park
get-
board, before when you were on, you were the ones that did that with
They
the
talked about,
pickets and
bricks.
Right,
that you were the
Doing
ones that
it.
did
it
that.
said
Right.
every
The first rec
structure.
park board.
yeah,
It
that,
said every structure.
I'm not gonna tell
I
you you're
was
wrong,
shocked.
I don't recall that being that way, but you could be right. I don't-
So plan A would be to see the excavation, like what we can do with the
Okay.
swings up
No.
there. Cause we talked about that at the one meeting when Judy gave us the at that time, this is where we were, that we had to see the paperwork of what everybody had asked for, cause we saw like some of the other people's comments. So,
we got a
swing,
subcommittee
so-
looking at
Yeah,
the
so
swing stuff.
Plan
B.
A's there, we just
B
need to
would
figure
be-
out,
Well, B, C, D, E.
yeah,
If we're gonna get bogged down in protocol with, whether it's swing sets or benches or something else, we wanna look at something maybe that we definitively can make some productive use of the money. It would be easy. Picnic tables is pretty easy.
exactly,
Yeah.
that's what I was ready to say.
If we needed, assuming, I can't remember what it said about picnic tables, but I'm all for it.
Seating, it said about more seating.
I think, what I would like to see,
Just remember, the canopy does come down in the winter.
Right,
where the canopy is, I do not like the way they have the flooring there, if you wanna call it flooring at all. It's not people friendly, it's not stroller friendly, it's not handicap friendly. I think that needs to be turned into a slab of concrete. If we're gonna keep a permanent pavilion at that spot. I just don't like the way that I don't know
What did
what
they
they would
use?
think. It's little, it's
Seagrass.
stone wash,
Rocks, yeah.
the round, it's like walking on marbles.
Seagrass.
And you can't push a stroller, and then it's set in there, they have pavers just set there. Last time I was up there, it just doesn't make sense, it was, and that stone stuff gets in the grass, just, it blows my mind that they did that, but.
The Boy Scouts did that.
Well, it
she
should
means
be,
being approved.
well, yeah, it just,
Yeah, no. I
they
wouldn't.
don't know, it drives me crazy, cause I'm more of a rec park person, I understand that stuff. And you just don't put the round stone there, you don't use it for landscaping, you use mulch, cause round stone gets, when you're done with it, you gotta dig it up and get rid of it. Mulch, if you decide you don't want it, you let it go and it grows over into grass, it's, but, if we're gonna leave have a permanent structure, we could change that into a slab, and then we could build around it if we wanted to ever build another wood pavilion.
What is the township's, rules or regulations? Like, say we get a concrete company from our township, somebody has his own business, are they allowed to erect a sign there that this was donated by the?
Can't, again, that's a board decision, I don't.
I didn't know if there was rules in our township about that.
Okay.
We don't allow political signs, but I don't know about a donation, I don't.
Well, it's like the
Yeah.
benches, when we did that, we put the people's
Yeah,
names
I
of
can't
businesses like we
imagine
did,
it's-
the businesses,
if-
we were on the pickets and
Yeah.
stuff. Okay,
And depending how, that could be part of the problem, I don't know what stormwater would mean, depending on how big
That's a
that
good point.
slab
Yeah,
would be.
yeah, once you get to
what's
Cement.
the surface underneath the pavilion?
underneath
That's
the one
the one with
that,
has the canopy.
The one up on the hill?
the one that's,
With the flags, where the orange
no,
canopy is?
not that
No,
one, the
the
other
one-
one
the
is,
pavilion.
it's
The one up
concrete,
above
isn't
the ball fields, is that a concrete
Yes.
floor in there?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a concrete slab there.
What's
Very
the
nice.
seating in there right now?
it? 2 picnic, 3, 4, I don't,
There's some,
Quite a
yeah,
few.
probably
It's
4.
eight.
Yeah, it's quite a few in there.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 or 6.
I haven't been up there.
Yeah.
It's very
Couple
nice.
months.
Yes, it is very nice. That's why
And I
I
think we
had
should
more
have more
picnic
of
tables
those.
up at that other one.
And I would like to see
I think picnic
grilling
tables-
stations up there where people can,
Somebody asked that, are they allowed to bring gas
We don't
grills?
allow fire up there of any kind, so
Somebody asked about that, they wanted to come for a picnic and they asked me at the store and I said, you just have to call the township, cause that's something, I knew we couldn't do campfires, but I
Well,
wasn't sure about a
yeah.
gas grill. You know, like a little propane thing,
There's,
What's on
that's,
Coleman, that's what it was, Coleman,
I-
like if they have their, I was like, I do not know.
one of the previous meetings that I was going, cause I was looking at different, parks, community parks, rec parks in the area. Spring and Spare, it doesn't matter which ones, but they have in their thing, like, fires only in designated areas, like
Oh,
the
okay.
grill that's set up, you know, on a,
On a
You know-
cement slab or something,
Yeah.
or, there was another exception. But then if you were to have any other type, the one place that with written permission, blah, 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 I'm like, oh, well, what are they doing, having a bonfire? But I didn't know what it was that they were alluding to, but it said you could have other things only with written permission from the township.
Yeah.
But,
And just, I would say, keep in mind, if you put wood tables up here under the canopy, they probably are gonna have to be moved in the winter
Mhm.
because there will be no coverage of that.
Well, that, up at the snack shack, there is tons of room to put them in there, because even when I
Yeah. you
worked
just-
at the Cador State Park, we took they did a lot of the tables and put them away for the winter.
Yeah.
Cause
and-
the snow's just sitting on, no one's up there, but I did think about that, there is
Just
plenty,
keep
it's
that in mind.
empty,
Yeah,
it's empty in there.
alright, do we have
Oh.
any other
I
ideas?
mean,
Well-
that's, we could get 3 of those.
Well, yeah, those are metal.
Oh, that's,
What do they
They're
run?
nice. The
That's
metal ones are
700.
nice.
it's a one-piece
What?
metal,
The metal ones, the big.
Yeah,
That's
big-
what he just, that is
Yeah,
nice.
It's just a big square one. I mean,
Yes,
I just
they're-
think
Yes,
They're so
think
nice.
they are
being
nice.
able to show that would be a good plan B, something
Yeah.
like that. Cause then
Metal.
if we can't get anywhere with our other discussions, we could just say, you know,
What is
three-
that price, just
This
on?
one
just
right
on
here, I
sale.
mean,
Is that
this
what
is
they're called?
$7.29,
No,
but
wood
it's on
one of those
sale,
metal.
so who knows? I mean, I'd
Is
say
that what they're
probably
calling
between, you
wood?
could probably get
No,
two,
the
maybe
wood
they're
three.
ones and
talking
then
just
there's track
wood.
ones and there's metal ones.
Or you could
Yeah.
adjust the number based on, I mean,
Now, is that just regular Amazon? Or is that-
this is just what popped up, so,
Okay.
I mean, there's other ones that are $1,000 a piece that are high quality metal looking.
do you wanna put Jimmy in the
Wooden
subcommittee?
ones, 450.
Well, I was thinking you have businesses in the area, so you can buy them wholesale.
They need to be cemented in.
Oh, no, not this one,
No, it doesn't need, just sits.
These
on
can be
the
moved
ground.
around.
Okay.
yeah, this,
That's what you want,
Cause
that
I
they
know
can be
Little
moved.
Creek has them where they're cemented right in
I
the,
mean, if you're
Oh,
worried somebody's
you
gonna
know, I
steal
gotta
them,
get down there and look at that closer.
yeah.
yeah.
You're
That
right.
would be terrible.
Okay, any other,
Stole it.
After we
I'm
spend the
like,
money.
Just back a year.
That is true.
or the teenagers move it to like some strange, on top of the pavilion.
But we'll have cameras, so we'll at least know who did it.
There would be in masks.
Okay, so,
Dun, dun.
I'm gonna check some of my wholesale companies and see how we can get, because actually I was gonna, if we were getting wooden ones, I was gonna go through the Amish and go
I
through my
mean,
business
there's
and
no
get them.
reason we couldn't do wooden.
Because they'll make them they make them at the wholesale, I just never buy them from my store, I can, and actually,
They got
I-
Splinters.
no, the one company that I buy the Adirondack chairs from, it's made out of marine grade Trek boards,
Okay.
because we did sell a lot of those, they do have picnic style that are, so I can get a price on those and just see,
I'll do it.
There's your plan B. Or plan C, plan B could be survey
here's,
stuff.
here's one other thing I think we need to do, is to put on this. I think what Judy said about asking them, if we can't get a plan worked out, could we carry it over and make a motion? Would they allow that? So then you don't feel the crunch
Obligated,
of,
yeah.
that we're being rushed into something and not making sure we're spending our money as wisely as we can. So I feel like I didn't know that could be an option, I just assumed that if it's
I
in,
mean,
but I
it's
didn't.
not like we're gonna swoop in and say, oh, we have $2,200, let's spend it. It's
Right.
not, nobody's looking at it,
Christmas party.
right, yeah.
So do we wanna make a motion that they would consider it,
Well, if we're just gonna table it, really, do we need to?
but that will go on November's
We'll
for the
make-
Board of Supervisors, so we really should, so that we have it as an option. It doesn't mean we have to do it, but at least we
Oh,
know when we
yeah.
all talk in November, here are our options.
Yeah, cause if the board
This-
says you can't
Mhm.
Then we
expend it,
know.
and you know you need to spend it, or.
Yes,
use it.
so I feel it's
Yeah.
important that
That's
they
fair.
It
know.
would be nice to get something
Let's go to Home Depot.
accomplished this year.
Yeah,
Something,
something
even if it's just a picnic table
To
for
say,
everything.
we do have a rec park board.
And we've done zero zippo zada.
I-
I'm just like totally embarrassed that we should do something, even if it's just spending $100.
Yeah, we don't have to spend it all, but it would be nice to make
You should.
some
It's only
improvement.
$2,000.
Yeah, but, I mean, if we spent 1,500 of it,
Well,
you know,
yeah.
that's,
But if
or
we can,
even,
that's one more picnic table left in your 1,500, Dan.
well, okay, but I mean, even if we had added another porta potty somewhere, I mean, it's something
Well,
where.
porta potties is a monthly,
that's a
but
different.
that's a
But I'm
monthly
just-
I'm just saying.
expenditure.
That
So,
doesn't come out
something
of your
to,
budget.
to improve
Yeah,
the
that's
park.
already in.
That doesn't come out of
That's
your
covered.
Right, right, but I'm just trying to say, just
Something.
something
so we say,
makes the park more inviting.
We need to make a
Or
two.
motion.
2 at a price to be determined, or 2 at $2,000? I mean, how specific do we need to be?
Two picnic tables,
Yeah,
is that what you're
that's
talking
what we're
about?
saying.
Well, no, I
Or are you
think
saying,
we should wait till next
ask
month.
now if they'll let us carry the money?
Yes,
Oh,
I
okay,
think
yeah,
we need to,
okay.
and then like what she said, get all of our numbers exactly together. I'll talk with this company again. I'll get some figures of the picnic table, so that, like Judy said, could be something you could do with their approval.
Okay.
Not
Can we
like
go to the
excavating.
board without making a motion and ask information of them? Or can we do that before a meeting? I mean,
So November's meeting is coming up, which will be before your next meeting.
right,
I would make a motion tonight to ask if the board will let you carry whatever that balance, you said 22 something over, or does it need to be
$2,228.
spent by this year?
Let's
That-
just say
that's a
carry
fair
over to
question.
March.
And if they say you spend it or lose it, then you know at your November meeting, you
Yeah.
wanted to spend it.
That's why you
So
need
is,
to know.
would March be, I think we need to give them a drop dead date.
no, this is for this.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
If they say you can carry
Yeah, you
it.
can keep it, we're gonna say we'll keep it to be spent by
By-
March.
By the end of March,
Gotcha.
by their,
We'll have
by their April meeting,
Yeah.
they'll know what
Yeah.
was spending on to it, give us the whole month. to-
Yeah, I would say you should make a motion to present to the board the option of whether the money has to be
Yeah,
used or
Spent by
used.
December
Yeah.
31st.
Yeah.
fair
2025.
enough. Let's write that down, because we're gonna.
Who's making the motion?
I'm making the motion that we go to the board and find out if we can carry the rec park fund over, or do we have to spend it or lose it? Whoever's gonna go to the board.
Do we wanna put an end date on it? Do we wanna say bye?
I think
by
that
March.
shows them you're serious about
Yeah.
cleaning it up, and it's not gonna go on and on. I
Well,
mean,
if they want an end date,
the
they can
books-
put it, if they wanna
Yeah.
let us carry it over, they can say, yes,
That's true.
we have to spend it by,
I mean,
Well,
they
that's-
haven't
January
approved the budget for what they're giving next
Yeah.
year anyway, it might,
right, we don't, there's another thing that we gotta vote on.
Yeah, just, hopefully it wouldn't eat into our budget.
right.
Say you were gonna get 8, now you get 6, cause you have 2,000 left over.
then we'll hurry, then we'll know that we have to spend it by the end of the year, like she said.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you can get an answer out of them, that's who has to make that decision, not me, so. So somebody needs to second the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay,
Sorry.
and then call a vote,
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
there you go.
vote against your.
That's
own
like trying to
motion.
do all this
I
and,
know.
thanks Judy for your assistance there.
Is that all?
Yes, that's,
Okay.
you fixed it. Thank you
Okay.
very much. Okay. All right. Okay, so we got all that. Any old business that we wanna take care of?
Yeah, I'm curious to know, well, another thing that I been thinking about is extending the walking trail. And like from up there, taking it down here at, Oakside Park over one of the creeks, somebody had donated the funds for a little covered bridge. And it would be really nice, in my mind, if we had a nice walking trail that came down the hill, or kind of along the road, maybe a little bridge that goes over this little creek here, over, and then comes back down, so you're not walking right next to the ball field. Bring the walking trail over here. I'm not saying that we need to vote on this or
I was
anything,
gonna
I'm
say,
just,
how much more can we do?
oh, no, if
Okay.
somebody was willing to donate, I just wanna put that out there
For
that,
2026.
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
next year, look into that. Also, did you ever get over to Lehigh's event?
No, I didn't.
Did you go to Lehigh's event? Did
No,
you go
then
to-
you,
I didn't go this
Oh,
year.
I
Okay.
drove
You go
past
with-
it in the morning. I was
you can't
I was
see it,
going to a
right.
softball tournament that day, and I went past it in the morning. It wasn't open yet, but I saw, like, I could see how they had everything organized, the parking and everything from the road, and it was,
My
we didn't finish
daughter,
till like 7 that night, so.
one of my daughters, her space number, her lot number was 56. And she told me that what they were doing is for $50, you got a 10 by 10.
that's
Jump
okay,
in.
we're
You're
almost
here for
done.
old business.
We're down to old business, we're ready to rock, we're ready to close up this shop.
I wasn't sure I was gonna make it at all.
Well,
The last
it's
living
that time of year,
I
it's
thought, well,
harvest
Yeah.
time. I can